Hello and welcome back to CQ, the AWS Certification Quiz Show, live at Sydney Summit 2019. I have Alex back with me. Thank you for returning.
Of course.
For another go this afternoon. I mean, you have big shoes to fill. Ash was phenomenal.
Well, it was too fun the first time.
All right, guys, we're again looking at the Certified Solutions Architect Associate Level Exam. Reference we are using is the official study guide available at wiley.com, also available at amazon.com. All right, Alex. Ready to hit the questions again?
Let's do it.
First one up. Whew. These ones are a bit easier than the ML ones we had earlier, guys, so let's get through them. Alex, which of the following is the Amazon side of an Amazon VPN connection? One answer. Well, thanks. Got the question right. Thanks.
All right, so key points we want to take away from this. We're specifying in this question that we're looking for an Amazon VPN connection.
Correct.
Now, that's going to be different than if I was specifying a customer VPN connection. So we're looking for kind of official AWS architecture here.
Okay.
So option one, an elastic IP address. Now, if I was spinning up my own VPN, that would be needed to keep my instance online and, publicly accessible.
Okay.
However, not going to be related to our, official VPC architecture for the VPN.
Yep.
Option two, a customer gateway. Now, a customer gateway is absolutely going to be part of that Amazon VPN connection.
Yep.
That's on the customer side. But if we reference back to the question, we're not looking for the customer's environment. We're going to be looking for the Amazon environment.
There's that tip again, right? Clue's always in the question.
While it's related, we got to skip it.
Cool.
Option three, an internet gateway. Now, an internet gateway is going to be for that connectivity, both inbound and outbound, for our architecture. So it could be a component of our VPN if we spun it up ourselves, related, but once again, not what we're looking for here, MJ.
All right, number 4 then.
Last one. Process of elimination, going to be a right answer, our virtual private gateway. This is like an internet gateway, but it's just for you. It's that VPN connectivity that you're going to create on your side of the architecture, on your VPC.
Sounds pretty perfect to me, huh?
Sounds good. Sounds good. So we're going to go with option number 4 here.
All right, checking in with the online poll. Just a reminder, we've got John Hero with us today, so please shoot through your questions to myself, to Alex, or to John, and vote along with us online. Agreeing with you, Alex. Everyone's gone for number 4.
Awesome.
4 it is.
Sounds good.
Let's move on to question 2. Bit of EC2. You ready?
Absolutely.
How can you authenticate to a new Amazon Linux instance using SSH?
All right. So what we're looking at here is connectivity to the host, to a brand new host for the very first time.
Okay.
So the keywords we want to take away from this are Linux and SSH, because that's going to be different than a Windows architecture pattern would look like, which is also something you're going to need to know for the exam. So option 1, decrypt the root password. Now that sounds like something that might be in the realm of possibility. And frankly, if this was Windows architecture, I would be decrypting that admin password. But once again, when we refer back to the question, we're not looking at Windows, we're looking at Linux.
Linux.
So that's the name of the game here. We're going to have to skip number 1.
Okay, number 2?
2, provide a username and password. Now, that could be an insecure method of SSH access, but by default, that's not going to be available on our Amazon Linux AMI. You're going to have to go out of your way to make that happen, which is just not a good idea.
So just a quick check at the poll, Alex. They're split between 2, 3, 4, 5. So
2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
Let's continue.
Well, let's keep going then. 3, use a private half of a key pair.
Yep.
Now, this sounds to me like a good idea. Right?
Why is that, Al?
It's a great question. So our public key is inserted into the EC2 instance as it comes online. The private key pair is something that I hold on to that allows me to SSH into the host.
Okay.
Which to me satisfies all of the key points of that question.
But let's look at the others just in case.
Absolutely. We have to keep moving on. 4,
yes, we do.
multi-factor authentication, or for short, MFA.
Yep.
Now, MFA is an important part of authentication, but it's not going to be related to our SSH connections.
Yep.
Once again, refer back to our public and private key pairs. Last one, provide an access key and secret key. Now, while I'm tempted to pick this one because the word secret just sounds so tempting, that's only going to be related to our IAM permissions, right? Our AWS API calls.
Okay.
So, process of elimination, right? A best answer we found was solidly answer number 3, the private half of the key pair.
We've just edged on number 3 online. And that is the correct answer.
Awesome.
Thanks, Al. All right, moving on to S3. What is needed to enable cross-region replication between two Amazon S3 buckets?
So in order to set up cross-region replication, right, which is something we might want to do to keep our data in maybe multiple regions or bare minimum multiple buckets, let's go through this now, keeping that in mind. What do we know about S3?
Sure.
So the first one, the buckets must be in the same AWS account. Now, if you've worked with AWS before, you're going to know for most of our services, right, that account is not a limitation. We can definitely copy data across accounts. So while it might seem at initial glance to be
a pretty good answer,
a limitation for us, it's not going to be.
Yep.
So we can skip that one.
Okay.
2, enable versioning in the bucket. Now, just by the nature of I've worked with this content before, and I've gone through this process myself, I know this is the right answer. To have replication between our buckets, versioning has to be enabled.
Okay.
So I know this is going to be it. Quick side point, this is content that you're going to get through that hands-on experience. Really, there's no substitution for actually practicing this content yourself.
Nice.
Still, continuing to look at the rest of them. 3, enable static website hosting. Not really related to what we're doing here, right? Hosting the content is not going to be related to replicating it out.
So we can cross that one out.
Safe to skip that one. 4, the IAM user must have read access on the source bucket and write on the destination. IAM's not involved. While we need IAM permissions to set this up, that's not related to ongoing replication of our content.
Sure.
Finally, the last one, S3 must be attached to an internet gateway. Those are separate services, right? Our VPC, our internet gateway, has nothing to do with our S3 content.
Yeah.
So that leaves us with option 2, right? In my opinion, the best answer here.
I mean, you pretty much said that straight away, so if you're wrong,
it'll look bad on me.
It's going to look so bad. All right,
well,
online.
We have a mixed bag here. A lot of people go for 4, which sounds reasonable. Read access, write access.
It
That's
does.
a good answer there.
Yeah.
A bit of number 5 because we've got to be on the internet. Some number 2, and the answer is 2. So
safe right now.
So versioning for cross-region
Or just
replication.
an expert.
Yeah.
Awesome. So moving on to question 4, decoupling. Your company provides a mobile voting application for a popular TV show, and 5 to 25 million viewers all vote in a 15-second time span.
Oof.
What mechanism can you use to decouple the voting application from your back-end services that tally the votes?
That's a longer question that we've seen.
It is.
Yeah, that's a mouthful. So this is an example of a question that just frankly could take you a little bit longer time because of the length of it.
Sure.
So this is really important where you have to pick out those key points.
Okay.
So some words we're looking for, and the biggest word is decoupling, right? How do we take that front-end application and the back-end application and stop them from talking directly to each other?
Yep.
So let's go through this now.
All right.
First answer, Amazon Elasticache. Now, Elasticache can help with performance, which it sounds like we might be hitting a performance bottleneck. However, caching is not related to decoupling, right? That's going to be increasing or decreasing my time it takes to get queries out of my databases.
Yep.
But it's not really useful in this answer.
Okay.
So we can skip that one.
Moving on.
Second one, Amazon Simple Queue Service, or SQS. Now, this sounds to me like the most solid answer, right? It allows me to dump all of my answers quickly into that queue and then have that backend pull them off in that slow fashion so it can keep up. Sounds like the right answer. Still, we need to review all of them.
Yep. Redshift.
Third one, Amazon Redshift. I'm not quite sure how my BI data warehouse is really going to help me in this situation when I'm being flooded for requests. So it's pretty safe, not related to what we're looking for.
Well, a comment here from MJ Fuzio, but Elasticache supports in-memory queues.
That is a great point. And you could set something up like that. I still would argue that I think SQS is going to be a simpler answer. And in general, on our questions, on our exams, we're looking for the most technically correct, simplest answer.
Okay.
Last one here, SNS, our simple notification service. It allows me to quickly push messages through. The message comes in, is immediately sent out. That could lead to overwhelming of those back-end resources. Where if I get 25 million messages coming through the queue, my resources might not be able to handle that immediately. So I'm going to say that number 2, SQS, is going to be the answer we're looking for.
We have a majority for 2 online as well, and 2 is the right answer.
Awesome.
Let's jump to our last question of CQ today. Elastic Beanstalk.
Oof, one of my favorites.
What type of AWS Elastic Beanstalk environment tier provisions resources to support a web application that handles background processing tasks?
All right, so this is a mouthful, a lot of long words we're looking at here. So this is where playing around with Elastic Beanstalk is going to be important. And there's really one keyword that sticks out to me over all of the rest.
And that is?
And that is going to be background.
Okay.
So you got to think here, this isn't my front-end processing we're looking at.
Yep.
So let's go through the answers. First one, the web server environment tier. Now, with that focus on that word, the background processing, to me, web server is going to be my front end, right? That's going to be the foreground of my application. Second one, the worker environment tier.
Yep.
That sounds like to me like an application that's sitting in that background. It's collecting the content that's being processed by that front-end application, going through it, and then doing something with it.
Not being favored on the online poll at the minute, though, Al.
All right.
Let's look at the others.
Well, let's still explore the rest. Third one, the database environment tier. Yeah, that's not going to be related. So your database is there at that, well, the final stop for your application. That's not really doing any of the processing. That's just the receptacle for the data coming through after it's already been processed.
Okay.
Last one, that batch processing, not really going to be related here, right? I've got that huge amount of data that I need to condense or do something with or transform. That's why batch processing comes into play.
Okay.
I'm going to solidly go with number 2.
John, quick poll check.
Oh, 2
Didn't
is
move up
popular,
on
but
2.
4 is more popular.
Ooh, all right, let's see how we did. All right.
Our expert wins again. All right, that's it for CQ on first day of Summit. We'll see you back here again tomorrow for security exams. Thank you so much for joining us today.